There is open, body, and close. Now, very often, open, body, and close, this framework is more relevant if you're doing like a one-to-many kind of presentation. But for one-on-one presentation, you don't have to follow very closely, or at least you don't have to worry too much about this, okay? I added there together because it is the same principle, but just delivered differently. Okay, so, I'll just skip this part. One second. Wait, no, okay. Hey, what happened? 1 second, guys, sorry. Sorry. Okay, I think I'm not sure what's up with the slides, but let's refer to our handout, okay? If you don't mind, you just share for a while. Okay, so in the opening, right, in the presentation flow, the connecting part is the part that we want to reconnect with the customer, the situation based on what they've shared with you. So this is the part, if you're writing down notes, right, you want to use back the same words or exact words the customers have articulated to you about their current situation, okay? Like for example, they might say, that, like for example here, right, they might have told you that they are caught up in a situation where they are not planning for themselves because a lot of their financial resources have been allocated to their parents and children, right? So my opening statement would be, earlier you mentioned that most of your resources have been allocated to your parents and children, and in our conversation you mentioned that you haven't had time to plan for yourself because you feel that there isn't sufficient resources for you. Okay, got it? Okay, then uncover. This is where you say the okay. So this is where you, the last time when she presented, if you guys notice, right, it's CUPPPPP, right? So the last time when she was presenting it back, she said so it's very funny. Anyway, can you do it again so everybody can understand?
Really, that was very spontaneous. It just, I know the same thing really.
Cannot, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it uncover, you would articulate back to the customer exactly what they said. Then I would say, in our presentation, you also did mention that if you do not take action about this now, this is how it will affect you in the future. You might not be able to retire in the ideal age that you want. Okay. The good news is I help customers like yourself be able to do this. And just for example, you can see Louis, right? I've helped her over about 10 years ago be able to plan the same plan as Louis, who was in the same situation as you, to plan a strategy to be able to help her achieve a retirement plan. And today, she's well on her way to achieving that financial goal. Okay? And today, my goal is to share with you 3 specific options that I put together for you to decide which you think will best fit you in your current situation. You see? The flow is very smooth. And all I'm doing is re-articulating back to the customer, weaving in my thought process and the solution that I have for the customer. Can you see that? Okay? Then in process, right? So here's my first option. Option number 1, right? To address what we've spoken about, this option number 1. Okay? The pro for this option is this. The con for this option is that. Okay? Option number 2, the pro for this option is this. The con for this option is that. Option number 3, the pro for this option is this. The con for this option is that. Okay? Then in your provide, you just have to ask one question. What do you think about what I just presented? Okay? Now, if you're writing down notes, right, I'd like you to take note of this. Now, this part is the part where you will be talking the most. In the whole sales process, this is the only part that you'll be talking the most. All right? Find the $500 for the guitar. Don't need transfer. Okay, can anybody tell me what's very witty, very smart, very fast. Okay, so can anybody tell me what's going to happen when you're talking the most, when you're talking a lot to your customer?
We only have 6 minutes to say the whole chunk.
No, 6 to 7 minutes is the average attention span before they will pick up something and get distracted. Okay. So you have to be very observant as you're presenting the idea. Maintain eye contact, and the moment they are shifty, you pause. Then you ask them, do you understand what I'm sharing? Do you have any questions? what do you think about what I've shared so far? You must do that, because if you keep blabbling, if you keep speaking, babbling, if you keep babbling, right, without observing your customers, which is very, very common, you're going to lose them. Okay? Now, so in 6 to 7 minutes, you need to do something called a pattern break. Everybody say pattern break. Okay? So pattern break is a strategy you can do to gain back attention, right? Because whenever the brain is put in a position where it is fed what it's expecting, it will switch off. Okay? Just like how we are seated in front of a lecturer who's speaking with a monotone. It's not the content, but the way the content is delivered that tells the brain this is not interesting. Okay? Yeah? So, pattern break. What can we do with pattern break? Storytelling. Asking questions. Okay? You can also pick up a drink. Okay? Give me other ideas about possible pattern breaks. So imagine you're talking, right? And then you feel like maybe time is a bit too long, you can see your customer a bit fidgety. What will you do to break that pattern? Can also? I've done that before. Can you imagine you're presenting for one? Can you stand up for one? Stand up for one. In the middle of the restaurant. Okay. Okay, what else?
The image now is inside me already.
What the one to What other things can we do to break the pattern? You want to go toilet in the middle of your presentation?
Take a break, everybody go toilet break.
I think every 6 to 7 minutes go toilet break.
Sure.
Okay, the easiest one is ask question.
Yeah.
Okay, ask question, especially if you are doing a presentation. The easiest one is just ask question. So pause and say, what do you think about that?
Do our 6 steps.
Yes, live up.
Easy flow. Okay, so Ethan, during our discussion, you agreed that responsible young executives like yourself aspire to a lifestyle filled with passion and dreams and hopes. So, but we let the time and experience. Oh, sorry, I have to repeat everything.
Yes.
With enthusiasm
Okay,
also.
okay. So Ethan, thank you for meeting up with me. Okay, so during our previous discussion, we agreed that responsible young professionals like yourself aspire to a future filled with passion and hobbies. But at the same time, we lack the time and experience to manage our finances. So as a result, we might find ourselves working longer or having to lower our expectations, and that is not ideal. So over the last 10 years, I have helped many people like yourself to ensure that we stay self-sufficient. And in today's meeting, we will learn how to fast-track our retirement without compromising on our current lifestyle. So we have the choice to make decisions. So I'm going to present to you 3 potential solutions. Option 1, blah, 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 blah. Option 2, blah, 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 blah. Option 3, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So just like planting a tree, building your financial portfolio takes time to nurture. Okay? The best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The next best time is now. Okay? So, given that what I've presented, how do you feel towards what I have shared just now? Finish.
Okay, well done. Okay, over here, right, later when you guys do the role play, I'd like you guys to think about where you would want to ask a reflective question. Okay, so just to draw the audience back. Like, what do you think? Right? Would you agree? Like, for example, when you say during our discussion we agreed that blah, 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 then as a result, is that correct? Would that be correct? Right, then you wait, then you, yeah?
No.
Okay, so that's why in today's meeting, so the good news is that over the past 5 years or 10 years, I've been able to help. And so in today's meeting, I'm going to be going to do that, going to show you how to do that without compromising on your current lifestyle. Is that okay? Right? So I keep drawing them back and I keep drawing them back. So I don't give them any reason, right, to get distracted and go somewhere else. Okay? All right, good. Let's give this thing a round of applause, everybody.
So for our profile is sandwich generation. So the parents taking care of young kids and their parents. So to connect during, I just role play. So David,
Yes.
yeah. During our discussion, we agreed that parents like yourself tend to overlook retirement planning as your financial focus. Okay, or tend to overlook retirement planning as your financial focus tends to be on your loved ones.
Yes.
Yeah, and as a result, you might actually find yourself not being able to kickstart your retirement planning due to the priorities in providing for your loved ones. So over the past 18 years, I've worked with parents like yourself to start on their retirement planning without compromising on catering for their loved ones. So in today's meeting, right, David, I will be showing you how you can kickstart your first retirement planning pot without compromising the financial needs of your loved ones. Yeah, I think we keep repeating loved ones, right? We will correct this, but this is how much we emphasize over David's loved ones.
Love is so important.
We will change the narrative a bit, not to worry, small issue. So is there anything else to add beside your loved ones? Is there anything else to add you would like to add in the discussion? So as example, no. So you mentioned that you have not started planning for retirement, but would like to retire in 20 years' time. So here we have 3 ways that you can actually achieve this while ensuring your loved ones are cared for. Actually, I think about it, if I keep repeating, he will laugh, but actually you'll just uplift the mood.
Actually, it will draw my attention back.
Yeah. And I take back my words, we won't be changing the narrative. We will continue with this. So there are 3 options. The first option will be the low risk option, whereby it gives you stable return. Okay. Second one would be we take a 50-50% approach, whereby it's moderate risk, so the return will be more balanced. Okay. And the last one, high risk. Okay, whereby we go into an aggressive portfolio to generate much higher return over the next 20 years. So out of these 3 options, David, which one would you prefer?
Okay. I can't make a decision because you didn't share with me the pros and cons.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Over here also got no pros and cons. So later when you do the role, no, didn't say. She said yada. Don't bluff me. Okay, so over here, so the proposed process, right, needs to be accurate lah. So then the role play will be precise. Okay. So include the role. How come down there got S? Unlock your dead ass.
Yes. Your dead asset. Your dead asset.
Okay. Okay. So indicate the pros and cons for that one, can? Okay. Okay.
I will just put in the pro and cons immediately now.
Okay.
So for David, there are 3 options that I can offer to you today.
Okay.
The first option is a low risk, stable return, whereby your capital is fully guaranteed, but the return range between 3 to 4% yearly.
Okay.
So for the moderate risk, your capital will be 50% guaranteed because it's a 50-50% approach. The average return will be about 6 to 8% yearly. And the last one will be high risk. Capital fully not guaranteed, but we should be looking at double-digit return, maybe from 10 to 12% on average over the next 20 years.
Okay.
So out of these 3 risks, right, which risk appetite would you prefer to actually put in your money?
Okay. When you ask me which risk appetite, I don't know how to respond.
Okay, I understand. So out of these 3 portfolio, right, would you...
Or these 3 options, which of these 3 options best resonate with you?
Okay, cool.
Okay, one thing I forgot to mention, guys, in these 3 options, you must mention your recommendation. Must. Okay, let me give you an example, okay? So back when I was doing medical sales, right, there was one particular product that I sold that helped people who travel long distances. How many of you have ever taken flight for more than 6 hours before? Yeah? Do you know that a small percentage of individuals, right, who travel long distances, the moment they get out from the plane, within few minutes, they will collapse and die on the spot.
Wow.
The reason is because when they are seated down, right, okay, so your body, right, has the part of your body that has the least blood circulation. Can you make a guess where? Your feet, right? So when you're seated down for a long period of time, the part of your body that doesn't have blood circulation often ends up with blood clots. Okay? So especially if you're medically prone to that happening, that is a serious thing. Because the moment you stand up, your cuff immediately functions as a pump that pumps blood up towards your heart. And what then happens is the blood gets clogged in your pulmonary artery, causing an immediate blockage and immediate heart attack, and you will just collapse and die. Okay? So now, back when I was in medical sales, I sold a, you might have seen that before. Okay, it's called TED stockings. Or compression stockings. Okay, compression stockings. So what compression stockings do is it does this. Okay. Now, for those of you who grew up, how many of you ever connected a rubber hose to a pipe? Turn on the tap. Done before? Right. And then what will you do?
Pull out. No.
What you pull out? Pull within and pull out. Yeah. Press and spray, right? So it's interesting that the same velocity of water is significantly increased when you create constriction. Okay? So the same principle applies right to our leg. Okay, so let's say this is your leg, this is the leg or calf. Calf, how to spell calf? Seal. Huh? Calf. This is not like a cow calf. Same spelling. Okay, so this is your vein or your veins. Okay, so every vein has valves. Okay, and when the valves open, when you squeeze it. Okay, but if not, there'll be blood clot here. Okay, so what this compression stocking does is it is something that you wear on the outside, so it compresses and it keeps this open. So it keeps this constricted. So when it's constricted, although the velocity is slow, although the blood flowing inside may be slower, it is significantly increased because it's constricted. Okay? Now, if this is the first time you're hearing it, and I'm telling you it comes in different sizes, wouldn't you like me to recommend you the best one that fits you? You have to understand, right, that when it comes to financial portfolios, our customers know little to nothing about it. And so if you don't give recommendation, there's a good chance they might say, let me think about it. Okay, because nobody likes to look stupid and make the wrong decision. So if we tell them the pros and cons of the options, it helps them be able to be well educated to make the best decision on the spot. That's why we need to have recommendation. Okay?
So it's like